You might think that buying a brand new 60-meter Explorer yacht with an ice-class hull, helipad, enormous toy deck and sleeping space for 12 guests couldn't get any better, but in this case there's a twist. Because the owner of this yacht also bought this 53-meter support vessel. The question is, when you've got one of the most capable 60-meter yachts on the planet, why would you also buy a support vessel? In this video, we're going to answer that question. I'm Jack Haines, you're watching YachtBuyer. Let's begin with the mothership, shall we? After you is a brand new Damen Xplorer 60, and even without her sidekick, she boasts some impressive numbers. Her length overall is 60 metres, with a beam of 11 metres and a draft of 3.5 metres. At 1,160 gross tonnes, she's not short on volume either, so there's plenty of space for the full complement of 12 guests and 17 crew. And with an ice-class hull and cruising range that pushes into 5 figures, you heard that right, she's one of the most capable charter yachts on the market. This video has 2 parts. In the second instalment, we're going to do the full tour of her support vessel Emotional, but in part 1, we're going to show you around after you. Both boats are available together for charter through TWW Yachts, and we'll put more information in the link below. And if you want to know more about the Damen Xplorer 60, you can read about it, see more photos and study its deck plans on yachtbuyer.com. We're going to start at the top and work down on this one, and there is nowhere higher up than the crow's nest, and what a great place this is to be. If you think about where this boat can take you with its ice-class hull and 10,000 nautical mile range, if you're coming into somewhere into the wilds, then being up here right at the top of the boat, no obstructions, really nice place to be. And equally nice when you're coming into somewhere like Monaco. You can take it all in up here with a glass in your hand, somewhere to sit as well and take in the view. And before we head downstairs, if you like this sort of stuff, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit like, hit subscribe and the bell icon. You'll be notified every time we upload a new tour. Right, let's go down to the bridge deck. We're down a level from the crow's nest into bridge deck aft, and this is a really nice entertaining space. You've got this lovely big bar here with your bar stools, obviously plenty of space over that side for crew to knock up some drinks and serve them to this table, which is amidships, and it has this lovely skylight overhead. There's a blind over it at the moment, but you can pull that back and let loads of light come down into this area. I love the ceiling detail as well, and the use of underlighting. This sort of wave pattern looks lovely. Nice comfortable sofa over on this side. And there's a sauna up on this deck as well, with a bathroom. So even if you're not using the sauna, you've got a nice toilet to pop to if you're on this deck and you need to use the facilities. And what's really nice about this area is it's very flexible. We've got these huge glass doors that bifold, connect in the middle. So this is completely climate controlled. You can cool it or heat it, depending on where you are in the world, or completely open it up so that these two areas combine. And that's important because this can be spec'd as a gym, as an alternative option. Sauna, wellness space, gym, and then out here to the hot tub. You can see how that would work really nicely as a former. Equally, a lovely entertaining space as well. And look at that, that's a really good sized hot tub. Remember, we're on a 60-meter fringe with seating, sunbathing space. It's a really cool area and can be fully shaded, as you can see, by this canopy that's overhead. And forward, we arrive at the bridge. Right, into the bridge. Now, if you've seen our tour of Pink Shadow, this will feel very familiar. The 60 is an evolution of that 58 model, so a lot of this feels similar, but they have made some tweaks. So this wing station, there's one on both sides, is pulled back a little bit. They've dropped down the window line, and there's also a deeper window here. So, as the captain, you can see right forward and also right aft from this position on both sides. Additionally, I've got a camera feed up here so I can see all areas of the boat above my head, and this screen folds up into the ceiling when you're not using it. So yes, you're a long way forward, but bearing in mind you're connected to the crew, you're being given instructions when you're coming into a berth, and actually your view forward and aft is absolutely excellent. This feels quite commercial, as does this bit forward. And look at this. I mean, you have this mix of sort of Damen, super yacht size, the Damen, the more commercial side. Well, this certainly feels more commercial. The screens are massively impressive. 2 lovely big seats as well, with the control station in the middle, and excellent views and oversight of all of the functionality that you have on board this boat. And she's quite an interesting propulsion system. It's hybrid, so you have 2 main engines. She'll cruise at about 12.5 knots for 5,500 nautical miles. But because it's hybrid, you can run it on the gensets, which really reduces the fuel use and boosts the range up to around 10,000 nautical miles. I'm going to talk more about that system when we're down in the engine room, but amazing flexibility when it comes to cruising there. You also have this space. So it's all very dark. They want it to be very glare free, and it really is. You know, it's very sort of subdued and dark in here, but for a reason. Yet you still have this nice space for crew and guests to come and take in the view back here. It's a nice big space, this, where you can relax on passage and feel like you're part of the action. And this is actually raised up. There's a guest passageway underneath our feet. We're going to see that later on, and it leads all the way through to the observation deck. So let's head downstairs and take a look. Welcome to the observation lounge. We're now right forward on the upper deck. The bridge is just up there. In fact, I can see the windscreens through this skylight, a skylight that really drenches this area in natural light. It's lovely. There's a blind there as well, so you can get a bit of privacy and some shade as well if it's too bright. Of course, it's an observation lounge, so the views are really good. 270-degree views, really nice big windows. It's lovely in the day. We're very cozy in the evening too. Through there, you're out to basically a crew area. It's where you've got the anchoring equipment, the mooring gear, but there are a couple of seats there, so guests can sit out there if they want to when the boat's on passage, and they're going to hang a net up there too, so guests can lie catamaran style and enjoy the ride right at the front of the boat. And you know, this is a lovely space. It's got a sort of bar section, so you can have a drink here, really comfortable sofas that are facing a truly enormous television. It can be fully closed off as well, so it's really quiet and really private. If we head down this passageway, it's mainly technical spaces and crew areas, and then we come to the internal dining space, and right at the back is where we find the helipad. This is where that hump in the bridge comes into play, creating all this head height, this lovely long passageway where from here I can see right to the heli deck. The other thing you have on this level is the captain's cabin. We'll have a little look in there. And a nice space it is too. Nice amount of floor space in here, big window as well, so there's some natural light. A double bed with storage lined all the way up this side. A desk as well, so the captain can do some work down here in private, tucked away, nice and quiet. Television too, and a totally private bathroom, which is really nice. On with the tour. And then opposite, the crew pantry. It's quite a big crew pantry as well. Coffee machine, wine fridge. You've also got an elevator or dumbwaiter, so you can get supplies up from the galley, and there's a connection here to the upper saloon. But of course, guests will get there via this main passageway, staircase, down to the main deck internally here, and then here we have the internal dining area and seating space. Dining room for 12 people here, very well connected to that crew pantry, so easy for the crew to serve people who are dining in this space. I love this light fixture as well. It's not quite as flamboyant as Pink Shadow in here. It's H2 design for the interiors, but it's still got some lovely elements, and there's a real nice mix of light and dark inside this space. This is home to a TV that pops up and swivels round, so it can either face the sofas on this side or turn to face people so they can watch the TV while they're dining. And there's some beautiful detailing in here. I love the light work, the marble, the mix of woods in these coffee tables, and just this circular arrangement sort of draws you around the space really nicely. Lovely detailing in the ceiling as well, with the sort of mix of panelling, the light woods, and then the underlighting. It's really beautifully executed. And this connects to the aft deck, which ultimately finishes with that helipad. So let's head out there and have a look. Right, out onto the upper aft deck. This is a really great outdoor living space. The owner wants this to be a good party platform, so you're never going to be too far away from a bar and after you. And there's a nice one there, close to the main outdoor dining table. I like the way that this runs down the centre line, leaving loads of space around it for the crew to manoeuvre easily, shaded by this canopy overhead, and then flanked by some really comfortable sunbathing space as well. So after lunch, you need a little rest, pop over there, sit in the shade, and wind down a bit, and there's plenty more space to do that up here. Now this is a certified helipad, so it can be used for proper helicopter operations. This particular owner probably isn't going to use it all that much for that type of thing. He sees it as a really good leisure space, hence why you have all of this freestanding furniture. All of this can be removed, including the parasols, so if you do want to use it for helicopter ops, you can, but he just sees this as an extension of After You's amazing outdoor living areas. And this just feels like beach club chic, right? You've got all these separate seating areas, the parasols, loads of space to move around, and you're high up as well, so the views from up here are going to be absolutely lovely. Now you'll have spotted we've not seen a guest cabin yet. Well, they're on the deck below, as is the tender deck. So let's head down there. If you're the primary charter guest, you're going to want to see this space, because this is where you'll be sleeping. This is the owner's cabin right forward on the main deck, full beam. It is a truly enormous space with the bed right in the middle. The partition as you come in becomes the bed head when you're around this side. I really like that effect and the way they've built the bedside tables into that unit in the middle. It's lovely, huge bed as well, but still massive space in here for a lovely desk over on this side. On the port side, chaise longue, someone to come and relax. You know, this is a really quiet area away from all the machinery, right forward, a proper oasis, you know, not just a sleeping space, and some clever tricks with the windows as well. There's actually a mullion in this window, so they've covered that with a mirror just to help bounce a bit more light around here. I mean, it's not lacking in room, but the palette and the amount of natural light really do make it feel even more spacious. TV up on the wall here, right opposite the bed, and then split dressing rooms. The main difference is this one's got a bureau. And what a nice bureau it is as well. Look at the view out of that window when you're sitting doing your makeup. Loads of storage too, drawers down here, hanging up here, a wardrobe over on that side. And then we have a shared bathroom, but it's kind of split as well. You have a pair of sinks, massive shower cubicle in the middle, all decked out in beautiful marble with the rain shower overhead. Through that stripy glass is where you find the toilet. And over on this side, you have your own bathtub with another wonderful view out an oversized window. It is gorgeous. Let's go and look at the guest cabins. One of the benefits of this design is that all of the guest accommodation is on the main deck, aligned along this passageway, which links the owner's quarters to the tender deck. In total, there are 5 guest cabins on this deck, comprising 1 twin and 4 doubles, and they are tastefully finished with some eye-catching design elements such as the swooping sideboard that runs beneath the windows. They're all equipped with ample storage, independent control of the cabin's AV and climate control via tablets, and each one features a spacious ensuite bathroom. Due to their position on the yacht, every cabin from the twin to the VIP offers excellent views through picture windows. It's comfortable, flexible accommodation even before you consider that you can sleep more guests on the support yacht, but we'll come to that. And then the last door you come to in this long passageway is the dayhead. That's in a clever spot because we're very close now to the toy deck, a place where guests are going to be hanging out, so they can come in here, use the facilities really easily. And then right at the end of this deck, before we head outside, you have this sort of guest waiting area. Imagine you're waiting for the tender, it's not great weather, you're going to sit here, wait for it to pull alongside, and you can run down out to the boat. But you know, it's a welcome room as well. First time you come on board the boat, it's cool, you can sit down, take the weight off, and wait to find out where your cabin is. Something else I should mention, you're probably thinking this is a big boat, if you need the crew and they're not around, what do you do? Well, you've got these call bells all over the boat. Press one of them and the crew will come and find you. Right, let's check out the aft deck. Right, main deck aft, one of the most important parts of the design of this yacht because it is such a flexible space. Principally, at the moment, you can see it's a living space. You have this nice round table down here, model of the boat as well. You can see that's what it looks like when it's got a helicopter on board. You've got the swing seats over here. I love these central pillars as well. Now, these aren't just designed for guests to swing off when they're having a drink. You can see they've got serious load capacity. That's because you can stow 2 10.5 metre tenders on this deck. You can drop down these poles on either side, these cranes go out, and then you can lift tenders to sit in this area. Of course, this boat has its own support vessel, so not all that necessary, hence why it's transformed into this living space. But this is all freestanding, so they can move all the furniture into the middle, they can put chocks down there, bring the tenders on board if they need to, but that's why you have a support vessel, right? All the toys live over there. Aft, you've got a really nice big bar area. It's a focal point of this deck. The TVs that drop down from the ceiling that can swivel, and they swivel for a reason, because that aft deck can turn it into a karaoke stage. So you can stand up there, turn the screens, get your lyrics up, and have a good old party long into the night. Let's check out the engine room and crew space. Access to both of those areas is via this door on the main deck. Right, down onto this level, we have all the crew space running down this way, the mess, the galley, and all of their sleeping cabins, but through this door, we find the engine room. In here, things get even more interesting. The twin 2,000 horsepower MTUs sit proudly in the centre of the space, but after you also has a pair of 150 kilowatt electric motors, 2 250 kilowatt generators, and a 180 kilowatt hour battery bank. The upshot is that the yacht can be run as a hybrid. For short periods, it can be run in all-electric mode, but the key benefit is autonomy on anchor, thanks to the battery bank, and the ability to propel the boat using the generators, which takes load off the main engines and reduces fuel consumption to the extent that the yacht's cruising range rockets to 10,000 nautical miles. There's a lot of separation between the technical spaces. For example, through this door here, you have water production and all the water treatment over on that side. Nice workshop area for the engineers back here, a bit of work surface, lots of storage, somewhere they can charge up all the batteries for the tools. This is the battery room, 185 kilowatt hour battery setup in here, really cool as well. Now the chillers are really on there to make sure the batteries are to temperature. and then you come into the lazarette. You can see it move to teak here because this is sometimes going to be a guest area. You know, they might come down here to grab toys, wetsuits, helmets, that sort of stuff if they're enjoying the water out there. A bit more rack storage up here for the engineers, but there's a partition door so you can slide this across. The engineers are working, then you can leave this as a guest space, but the engineers are mending stuff down here. They've got really easy access between the two areas, and this entire hatch lifts up to give you access down to the bathing platform. Right, that's the engine room. The last place to look at on board after you is the crew accommodation. Most of the cameras are in use, but they have cleaned this one up for us, so we can just give you a quick peep inside. A typical crew bunk cabin, so a pair of bunks, storage up on this side, a desk down here with a little bit more storage above, and then every cabin has got a private bathroom, usually 2 people per cabin. But you know, because you've only got 17 crew on board, the spaces aren't too bad, and there's more communal space forward. Further along this deck, we arrive at the crew mess, and if you've watched lots of our videos, you'll be familiar with these spaces, and this is a pretty good one. Split tables, so there's space for them all to spread out. They very generously let us on board on someone's birthday. As you can see, you know, this is their home, not just a working space. You've got a TV screen up there, plus screens for systems, so they can oversee everything to do with the workings of the yacht from down here as well. And it's opposite the galley, which is currently in use, so we may not be able to get in there. We'll get B-roll so you can see what it looks like, but the chef is currently busy cooking away in there. But they have this little counter as well, so they can make coffees and prepare food in here to go across to the galley. Thanks for watching that tour of After You. Here's what you've got to look forward to in part 2, where we tour its support vessel, Emotional. If you want to see a tour of another Damen Yachting Explorer vessel, Pink Shadow, a YachtBuyer award winner, then you can do that by clicking up here. Thanks again for watching. I'm Jack Haines. This is YachtBuyer.